Welcome to Breath Journey, a space where we don't chase life, but gently learn to pause and listen. Breath Journey isn't about teaching you what to do. It's an invitation, a gentle path that guides you back to the quiet wholeness within yourself. Here, every breath becomes a bridge, one end reaching your body that's been holding pain, the other reaching your soul that's been waiting to be heard. And somewhere in between, you rediscover the connection you may have forgotten, the connection between body, mind, and this very moment. If you're here, it's probably not by accident. Maybe you've carried exhaustion for too long. Maybe there's an ache somewhere, in your body, your heart, or in a place you can't quite name. And maybe you're simply looking for a place to breathe again. In a world that moves too fast, we forget that slowing down isn't weakness. It's the only way to hear the truth beneath the noise. Each conscious breath, each moment of presence, is a small but powerful step on the path of healing and returning to yourself. Breath Journey was born from one belief. You don't need to chase peace. Peace has always been within you, just waiting for your attention. Through every video, every practice, every mindful inhale, we'll walk together through the 7 Zen principles of healing. 7 keys that reconnect your body and mind. Slowing down, listening, letting go, breathing, gratitude, presence, and emptiness. This isn't a journey of doing more. It's a journey of doing less. Not a path to perfection, but a path to wholeness. Find a quiet place. Close your eyes. Inhale slowly. Exhale deeply. Feel your body as it is. No effort, no expectation, no need to prove anything. Just be here. And when you're ready, let Breath Journey walk beside you. A journey without a destination, only a returning. One breath at a time. Maybe there's a place in your body that feels uncomfortable. A dull ache in your lower back, tightness in your neck, or a heaviness in your chest that you can't quite explain. It's easy to ignore it, to move on with your day, to tell yourself it will go away. But that discomfort is not random. It's a message. Your body is trying to tell you something, and for once, it's worth listening. In modern life, we move fast. We wake up already thinking about what's next. We push through pain, drink another coffee, keep scrolling, keep running. Somewhere along the way, we forget that our bodies aren't machines. They get tired. They speak in subtle ways. Tension, fatigue, tightness, long before they shout. This is where healing begins, not in doing more, but in slowing down enough to notice. In Zen practice, there's a saying, "Hurry is the enemy of harmony." When we rush, our nervous system stays in survival mode. Muscles stay tight, digestion slows, breathing becomes shallow. The body feels like it's in a constant emergency. You can't heal when you're always bracing for impact. So today, start small. When you wake up tomorrow, don't jump straight out of bed. Give yourself 3 quiet minutes. Stretch your arms, wiggle your fingers, feel the sheets around you. Notice the air touching your skin. Take 1 deep breath in, 1 long breath out, and whisper to yourself, "Thank you for still being here." It may sound simple, but this is how you begin to rebuild trust with your body. 1 conscious breath at a time. In Japanese Zen monasteries, monks move slowly, deliberately, with full awareness. They eat in silence, walk in silence, clean in silence. It's not laziness, it's intelligence. Every movement matters. They've learned that rushing disturbs the natural rhythm of the body. Harmony, the foundation of healing, can't be rushed. Imagine living that way, even for a day. Eating without checking your phone, walking without rushing to the next thing, feeling the ground beneath your feet. It doesn't require a monastery, only your attention. When you slow down, you begin to feel something that's been missing. The simple peace of being alive without doing anything to earn it. Pain often shows up when we've gone too long ignoring what our body has been trying to say. The backache after too many hours at the desk, the tension in the shoulders that carries our worries, the headache that comes from pretending we're fine. Pain is not the enemy, it's feedback. It's your body saying, something needs your care. When you label it as bad and try to push it away, you create even more resistance. But when you pause and simply notice it, something shifts. You stop fighting your body and start listening to it. Try this. The next time you feel pain, instead of tightening up or distracting yourself, place a hand near that area. Take a slow breath in. Ask quietly, "What are you trying to tell me?" You might not hear words, but you will feel a response, a release, a softening, or maybe just awareness. That's the body's language, and learning it takes patience, not force. We live in a culture that celebrates endurance. We admire people who push through exhaustion, who grind and hustle. But in doing so, we often forget the wisdom of rest. True strength doesn't come from ignoring pain. It comes from understanding it. Stopping is not weakness, it's wisdom. When you pause, the body begins to feel safe again. The heart rate slows, the breath deepens, and your energy quietly resets. That's the first step toward real healing, safety. Without it, the body stays locked in defense, unable to recover. Think of it this way: your body is not a problem to fix. It's a partner that's been trying to get your attention. It doesn't want perfection. It wants connection. Sometimes, the best thing you can do for yourself is simply to stop running. Stop trying to get better. Stop trying to become someone else. Just notice where you are. Sit quietly and feel your breath move in and out. Feel the weight of your body on the chair or the floor, the warmth of your hands, the rhythm of your heart. There's nothing mystical about it. This is your nervous system learning safety again. Healing doesn't come from effort, it comes from presence. There's an old Zen line: when the water is still, the moon appears. You don't have to chase the moon. You just have to let the water settle. When the mind slows down, clarity naturally appears. When the body feels calm, it begins to repair itself. You don't need to control the process. You don't even need to understand it. All you need is willingness, to pause, to breathe, to listen. Right now, take a deep breath in through your nose. Hold it for a moment. Exhale slowly through your mouth. Feel what that does to your body. Maybe your shoulders drop slightly. Maybe your face softens. Maybe for just a second you feel safe. That's healing. Not the absence of pain, but the return of safety, of trust, of calm. Tomorrow, try moving through your day a little slower. When you drink water, actually taste it. When you walk, feel each step. When you talk to someone, look into their eyes fully. These small acts of attention are the building blocks of transformation. Healing is not a dramatic moment. It's a quiet returning, again and again, to the present moment. You might think, this is too simple. But simplicity is where truth hides. We've been trained to believe that healing must be complicated, more effort, more techniques, more control. Yet the body already knows what to do once you stop interfering. Like a river finding its way to the sea, it just needs space to flow. So breathe, slow down, let the silence come closer. Right here, in this pause, you are not broken. You're simply remembering what wholeness feels like. Healing doesn't start when everything is fixed. It starts the moment you stop running from yourself. There's a quiet kind of courage in letting go. Most of us grow up believing that holding on is strength, holding on to goals, to people, to the way we think things should be. But over time, we learn that clinging often hurts more than it helps. The tighter we hold, the more we suffer when life inevitably changes. Letting go isn't giving up. It's recognizing that control is often an illusion. No matter how hard you try, you can't stop the tide from moving in and out. You can't make people stay when it's time for them to go. You can't stop the seasons from changing, but you can learn to move with them, to flow instead of fight. In Zen, the idea of impermanence, mujo, is not meant to make us sad. It's meant to set us free. Everything you experience is in motion. Every breath, every thought, every feeling, all of it is passing through. You can resist that truth, or you can learn to dance with it. The next time you feel emotional pain, disappointment, grief, anger, notice what happens when you try to hold it down. The body tightens, the breath shortens, the mind starts spinning. Now try something different. Take a breath and let the emotion rise and fall like a wave. Don't label it as good or bad. Just see it for what it is. Movement. When you stop trying to control the wave, you discover that it carries you back to stillness on its own. Letting go starts small. It's not a dramatic act. It's a daily practice. You can begin by releasing tiny things. The urge to respond to every message right away. The habit of replaying a mistake from yesterday. The belief that you have to fix everyone's problems. Try this. When something irritates you today, pause before reacting. Feel the tension in your shoulders or your jaw. Take a breath and ask, what if I don't hold on to this? That single question changes everything. It creates space, the kind of space where peace can enter. There's a story in Zen about a monk crossing a river. He carries a heavy woman across the water because she cannot cross alone. Hours later, another monk who was with him says, "Why do you carry that woman? We're not supposed to touch them." The first monk smiles and answers, "I put her down at the riverbank hours ago." "Why are you still carrying her?" That story is simple but profound. We all carry things long after they've ended. Old arguments, regrets, expectations. We replay them again and again, keeping them alive. Letting go doesn't mean forgetting. It means choosing not to carry the weight any longer. When you learn to release, you also learn to trust. You begin to see that life has its own rhythm. You don't need to push it. You don't need to rush it. Sometimes what looks like falling apart is really falling into place. Think about a leaf in autumn. When the wind rises, the leaf doesn't fight it. It lets go of the branch and falls. For a moment, it's carried by the wind. Then it returns to the earth, where it becomes part of something new. We too are like that leaf. We spend so much of our energy resisting the natural flow of life, afraid to lose, afraid to fail, afraid to feel. But when we finally release our grip, we return to the ground of peace that's always been beneath us. Control is often a form of fear. Fear that without our effort, things will collapse. But look around. The sun rises without your help. The heart beats on its own. Healing, growth, and change happen whether you control them or not. Your job is not to force life. Your job is to cooperate with it. In meditation, we practice letting go of control every time we exhale. The inhale is effort. The exhale is surrender. It's a reminder that life moves in cycles, holding and releasing, rising and falling, beginning and ending. You can't have one without the other. Trying to live only in the inhale is exhausting. The exhale is where rest lives. There's beauty in impermanence once you stop fighting it. The fact that everything changes means that pain too will pass. The heartbreak, the anxiety, the grief, none of it is permanent. That doesn't make those feelings meaningless. It makes them precious. Because they're fleeting, you can meet them fully, knowing they will move on. When you remember that nothing lasts forever, you start to live differently. You speak more gently. You forgive faster. You appreciate the small moments because you know they won't come again. That awareness doesn't make life heavier, it makes it sacred. Sometimes people misunderstand letting go as apathy, as if you stop caring. But it's the opposite. Letting go means caring deeply without needing to control the outcome. You can love someone and still allow them to change, to grow, even to leave. You can work toward your goals and still release the anxiety about how or when they'll come. Letting go doesn't close the heart, it opens it. Because the truth is, everything we try to hold on to eventually slips away. Not to punish us, but to remind us that love, peace, and freedom were never in the things themselves. They were in the way we experience them. So if today feels heavy, maybe it's not because life is cruel. Maybe it's because you're holding too tightly. Take a breath and ask yourself, what if I stop fighting what is? That doesn't mean giving up on your dreams or avoiding responsibility. It means you stop pushing against reality. You meet it just as it is. And in that meeting, the struggle starts to dissolve. Letting go is not a one-time act. It's a way of living. You'll forget and hold on again, and that's okay. Just keep noticing. Each time you release even a little, you make room for peace to return. There's a quiet strength that grows in this practice. It doesn't shout. It doesn't force. It simply trusts. And with time, you realize that the things you let go of were never truly yours to begin with. They were just passing through, like clouds across the sky. To let go is to make space for what's real. To accept impermanence is to finally rest in peace. Not the peace of escape, but the peace of being fully alive while everything changes around you. Breathing is the most natural thing in the world. And yet, it's the one thing we forget the most. No one taught us how to breathe. We were born knowing. But somewhere along the way, we stopped noticing. Our breath became shallow, rushed, automatic, like background noise we no longer pay attention to. The truth is, the way you breathe tells the story of how you live. When you're anxious, your breath is tight. When you're angry, it's sharp. When you're sad, it slows down. And when you're calm, it flows easily, quietly, like a river. So much of healing starts here, in this small, invisible rhythm that never left you. Take a moment now. Sit comfortably or lie down. Let your shoulders drop. Place one hand on your chest, one on your belly. Breathe in through your nose for 4 counts. Hold for 2. Exhale slowly through your mouth for 6. Repeat that a few times. You don't need to do it perfectly. Just notice how your body responds. This simple rhythm, 4, 2, 6, begins to calm the nervous system. It tells the body, you're safe. When your body feels safe, the muscles soften, the heartbeat steadies, digestion improves, and tension starts to fade. You are literally switching from survival mode to healing mode. You don't need to think your way out of pain. You just need to breathe your way back into peace. In modern medicine, they talk about the parasympathetic nervous system, the body's natural rest and repair mechanism. Every time you take a slow, conscious breath, you activate it. You don't have to control anything. You just allow it. It's almost miraculous how something so simple can change everything. But breathing consciously isn't only about biology, it's also about presence. When you focus on your breath, you anchor yourself in this exact moment. Not in the past, not in the future, but right here. And right here is where healing actually happens. Many people try to heal by adding more techniques, more books, more effort. But the body doesn't need more. It needs space. It needs to know you're paying attention. Each mindful breath is a message to your body that says, I'm here. I'm listening. When you start to breathe this way, something else opens up too. Gratitude. Gratitude is a quiet form of love. It doesn't require big words or perfect days. It's the small moment when you thank your body for simply showing up again. Even if you're tired, even if you're in pain, your body is still working for you. Your heart hasn't stopped. Your lungs haven't given up. Every cell is still trying to help you live. That's worth a thank you. Before you sleep tonight, try this. Place your hand on the part of your body that feels tired or sore. Maybe it's your shoulders, maybe your stomach, maybe your heart. Whisper to it, "Thank you for carrying me. Thank you for not giving up. Thank you for still being here." You don't have to believe in magic to feel the effect. Science shows that gratitude releases oxytocin, the hormone of connection and calm. It literally reduces pain and anxiety. But beyond the science, gratitude changes your relationship with yourself. You stop seeing your body as an obstacle. You start seeing it as a friend. For 21 days, try this small practice. Each night before bed, write one sentence of gratitude to your body. It can be as simple as, "Thank you, legs, for walking me through today. Thank you, eyes, for letting me see the morning light. Thank you, breath, for reminding me I'm alive." It takes less than a minute, but the shift it creates runs deep. After 3 weeks, you might notice you talk to yourself differently, softer, kinder, more patient. That's not just emotional growth, that's healing at a cellular level. Your thoughts shape the way your body feels. In Zen, gratitude is not a reaction, it's a way of being. You don't wait for life to be perfect to be thankful. You thank it because it's imperfect, because it's teaching you, shaping you, keeping you alive. When you combine breath with gratitude, something powerful happens. The breath grounds you in the present. Gratitude opens your heart to it. Together, they dissolve resistance, the tension that keeps pain in place. Each inhale becomes a gesture of acceptance. Each exhale becomes an act of release. And slowly, the body begins to trust again. If you find yourself struggling during the day, maybe your mind races or your chest feels tight, stop for a moment. Breathe in deeply, and as you do, silently say, "I receive." Then breathe out and say, "I let go." You can even place a hand over your heart as a reminder that this rhythm, in and out, receive and release, is the natural pulse of life itself. Healing doesn't always mean doing something new. Sometimes it means remembering something ancient, like how to breathe, how to say thank you, how to simply be. The breath is your most faithful friend. It has been with you in every joy and every pain. It never left, even when you ignored it. Now, as you return to it, it returns you to presence, to peace, to yourself. Breathe in, "I receive." Breathe out, "I am grateful." Breathe in, "I accept myself." Breathe out, "I release what I no longer need." Keep repeating until the words fade and only the breath remains. That's when you'll know. Healing isn't something you chase. It's something that happens naturally when you breathe and give thanks for the life that's already here. After all the lessons, all the breaths, all the letting go, there comes a quiet point where there's nothing left to do. No more techniques, no more words, just silence. That silence is not empty. It's full of life, of awareness, of presence. In Zen, they call it sunyata, or emptiness. But emptiness doesn't mean nothingness. It means freedom, the space where things come and go without resistance. You've listened, you've softened, you've learned to breathe and to be grateful. Now healing asks for one last thing, to stop reaching and start being. Most of us live as if we're always trying to get somewhere, a better version of ourselves, a better day, a better feeling. But this constant striving keeps us trapped in a subtle tension. We end up missing the only moment that's ever real. This one. When you sit still long enough, you begin to notice there's a difference between trying to be at peace and simply being. Peace isn't something you achieve, It's what remains when everything else quiets down. You don't have to fix yourself to find it. You only have to stop arguing with the moment you're in. Take a breath. Feel the air come in, cool, steady. Let it go, long, soft, unhurried. Between the inhale and the exhale, there's a pause, a space where nothing happens. That tiny space is the heart of Zen. It's the place where your mind, body, and spirit line up perfectly. No judgment, no effort, just being. If you pay attention to that space long enough, you start to realize you are not your thoughts, not your pain, not even your story. You are the awareness that notices them all. And that awareness has never been broken. The body heals itself when the mind stops interfering. It doesn't need constant commands, only your permission to rest. When you allow yourself to simply exist without trying to be better, you give your body the deepest kind of safety. You tell it, you don't have to prove anything anymore. And in that safety, healing becomes effortless. This is what Zen means by Tan Kong, the space where you stop defining yourself by what hurts, what you want, or what you've lost. You just are. Imagine the sky on a cloudy day. For a while, you might think the clouds are all there is. But above them, the sky has always been clear, untouched, infinite. You are that sky. Pain, fear, memories. They are just passing clouds. They come and go, but they never damage the sky itself. The more you identify with the sky, the less the clouds control you. You don't need to chase them away. You only need to remember who you are. Many people think peace means nothing ever goes wrong again. But peace isn't the absence of movement. It's the ability to remain still while everything moves. Like a mountain surrounded by wind. The mountain doesn't resist the wind. It just stands. True healing feels like that, grounded, open, unshaken. Not because life stopped being difficult, but because you stop being divided inside. Sometimes when you sit quietly long enough, emotions come up. Sadness, grief, old memories. Don't run. Let them move through you. You don't have to label them or understand them. They're just energy leaving your system. If tears come, let them. They are the body's way of releasing what words cannot. Even the act of crying is healing. Not because it changes anything outside you, but because it softens what's been held inside for too long. In the state of Tan Kong, there's no healer and wounded. There's only life balancing itself. The body, the breath, the awareness, all working quietly without you needing to manage it. Healing was never something you did. It was something that happened when you stopped getting in the way. So now, let everything be. Let your thoughts drift like leaves on water. Let your body rest without trying to feel a certain way. Let your breath move naturally. You're not breathing anymore. You are the breath itself. You're not observing healing. You are what heals. When you finally stop searching for peace, peace finds you. When you stop trying to heal, healing happens on its own. When you stop being afraid to feel, you realize you were never broken in the first place. Take one last deep breath. Inhale, feeling everything expand. Exhale, feeling everything release. Stay in the stillness that follows. That stillness is you. Healing was never about becoming someone new. It was about remembering who you've always been, whole, steady, and free. At this point, there's nothing to chase, nothing to fix, only to live, simply, gently, awake. Let your breath continue its quiet rhythm. Let gratitude linger like a soft light in your chest. You've come home, not to a place, not to a person, but to the quiet truth within you. Breathe, rest, and know that you are already healed. Take a slow breath in and a softer one out. You've come a long way, not in distance, but in awareness. Through silence, through breath, through letting go. You've walked the quiet path back to yourself. Maybe your pain hasn't vanished completely. Maybe life still feels uncertain at times. That's okay. Healing was never about erasing what's real. It's about learning to hold it gently, without fear. When you breathe, you remind your body it's safe. When you listen, you remind your heart it's heard. When you stop reaching, you realize there was nowhere to go because you were already home, inside this moment, inside this breath. At Breath Journey, we believe healing is not a finish line. It's a rhythm. It moves with you, changes with you, and deepens as you learn to trust the stillness within. Every time you breathe consciously, you return. Every time you soften into gratitude, you remember. Every time you pause, you heal. So, take this with you. You don't need to force peace. You don't need to chase it. You are peace, breathing itself into being, one moment at a time. When you forget, come back here, to your breath, to your body, to this space. We'll be waiting for you, right here on Breath Journey.